Hi there, everyone. I'm James Milan. Welcome to the Town Hall Update. We haven't had one in a while, but we are going to talk today, get the latest status on the new automated curbside collection program. The last thing we were talking about on Town Hall Update, we'll start with that again. And then there's the town's recent designation as a housing choice community, what that means, and the upcoming deadline for applying for means-tested senior property tax exemptions, a new program to rent adaptive tricycles, and new murals along the bike path. So that's a bunch of stuff, but where would you I forgot to introduce our illustrious guest. Jim Feeney, our town manager, of course, is with us for the Town Hall Update. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, James. Good to be back.
We really appreciate it. And yeah, it's been a little while. So where would you like to start? That was a long laundry list. So you.
Sure. I'd say before we jump into the automated curbside collection program update, just offer two really quick updates. The first being that the Arlington High School building project, the final phase is well underway. Actually, next week we'll begin milling the asphalt on Schuler Court and Millbrook Drive to prepare for final paving before the school year starts. The new turf athletic fields are well underway. So I know I join many in the community who look forward to celebrating the completion of the Arlington High School building project in the months to come, and we look forward to showing it off to the public. And we hope to do that on Saturday, October 25th. So save the date. From 1 to 4 p.m., we'll be inviting the public to an open house at the high school. Obviously, more details will be available as that date approaches, but wanted you to save the date so you can come out and see this magnificent building and have a tour of everything that it has to offer to the community.
Those lucky incoming ninth graders, right? I mean, they're going to have just a wonderful experience.
They'll never know anything else but that.
Right. That's great.
And another quick hit is the Civic Academy application deadline is August 11th. So the sort of next cohort or iteration will be starting up this fall. For those who don't know, the Arlington Civic Academy is geared towards those interested in joining a town committee or may want to run for town meeting or some other elected office, though all are welcome to apply. So as a reminder, the Civic Academy meets once weekly for 6 weeks. It's approximately 2 hours each of those nights. Participants will get an overview of the town and how its government operates. That is led by town officials. There's time for a Q&A each night. And ideally, everyone will leave with a better understanding of how the town works, but also the role they can play in their local government. So deadline to apply is Sunday, August 11th.
Really good experience that, as we've often noted. So
yeah, and the staff and the department heads and myself, those of us who get to participate directly in it, find the experience very rewarding to be able to speak directly to residents and answer the questions that are at the top of their minds.
All right, a couple of good quick hits to begin with then, but let's talk a little trash still.
Yeah, talking trash. I feel like it's all I've been doing for the past few months. Obviously been a very busy summer with respect to the new automated curbside collection program. We're approximately 6 weeks into the new program, and we're probably over some of the biggest hurdles of the transition. Fingers crossed. That included, delivering over 30,000 carts to our residents. We've been processing the removal of extra carts, delivering missed carts, processing cart downsize requests from 65-gallon to 35-gallon, and some upsize requests, folks looking to go back to 65-gallon from 35-gallon carts.
Wow.
We've launched a new small business cart program. We've been getting the new drivers acclimated to the town and its roots and the various areas of town that you wouldn't even think are in Arlington but are. So making sure that everyone's trained and hitting all of the right addresses. So we've also just completed our special townwide curbside collection of unwanted barrels and bins that will be recycled as bulky, rigid plastic waste, which is a very good thing. And we're trying to schedule with Waste Management to return next week to collect from the streets or from sides of streets that we've heard were missed so that we have that opportunity to get those materials recycled. I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge and thank WM for their partnership through this transition, and especially for their ability to pivot in the initial weeks to offering manual collection despite being geared and staffed up for an automated collection program. It was simply the volume of material left at the curb by Republic during the tail end of their contract made using a single cart system next to impossible until missed collections of all streams, trash, recycling, and yard waste, were caught up and back to a baseline level. So obviously the transition was a major change for residents, for us town staff, and I truly appreciate WM's flexibility in accommodating sort of the overflow needs of the community in those beginning weeks of the program. But now that everything is essentially caught up and residents have had a period of time to acclimate to the new system, through WM, we will start to more strictly enforce the new rules moving forward. So what does that mean, or what does that look like? So really there's going to be no more, what I'll say, of amnesty on collecting overflow items like we were able to offer during the first few weeks to establish baseline. So all material must fit in the cart and the lid must be closed. That includes cardboard, which has to fit in the recycling bin. Again, lid closed, can't be left on the ground next to the cart. Any overflow trash must be in the approved town orange overflow bags, and they should be left next to the cart, not on top of the cart. Those bags can be purchased at the local hardware stores. Also a reminder that recycling in Arlington and Massachusetts is mandatory, so please leave your recycling cart out, even if it has been emptied, until your trash cart is collected. Don't bring it back in early if they collect it first. It's 2 different trucks and 2 different drivers, so if that driver doesn't see the cart at the curb, they have to assume you are not recycling and your trash could be left behind. So what's going to happen is if any of these rules aren't necessarily followed, the driver is going to be getting out of the cart, out of the vehicle, and then tagging the cart with what I believe is an orange notice, and your items will be left at the curb until they're properly placed for collection. So obviously placement of the cart is important. You know, I've been advising people probably the best place to put it is 1 cart each on either side of the driveway, right, sort of in your driveway apron. Make sure it's within 3 feet of the curb line or the edge of the road. Ideally, they should be 3 feet away from each other, which is why I advise 1 on each side of the driveway. That's to allow the mechanical arm to reach out and collect them without potentially knocking over the other cart while trying to service one of them. Arrows on the lid provide placement direction. They should be facing the street. Do not place carts behind trees or under low-lying branches. And if parked cars are a concern, I would advise placing the carts against the curb on the street side, as described above, right at the edge of your driveway. So just wanted to remind folks of these rules, but also thank everyone for their patience throughout this change. We really navigated a series of concurrent transitions in conjunction with actually a number of different vendors. So, you know, we needed patience and we received patience from the community, and I both respect and appreciate that. We had some tough days, and we continue to smooth out some wrinkles, but also looking forward to what we're already seeing as the benefits of more consistent collection and cleaner streets. And I would be remiss if I also didn't thank a number of town staff who have been working tirelessly during the course of this transition for a number of months. You know, community-wide changes are very challenging and requiring a significant amount of effort, and some employees in particular deserve special recognition, including our Director of Public Works, Mike Rademacher, our Recycling Coordinator, Charlotte Milan, Jackie Miller, our Waste and Diversion Compliance Officer, our Public Information Officer, Joan Roman. It's also been all hands on deck in the manager's office, handling, helping with phone calls and emails. So my thanks to Deputy Town Manager Christine Bongiorno, Administrative Assistant Kristen DeFrancisco, Budget Coordinator Lauren Costa, and our intern, Tobin Pacheco. We have a lot of work to do, and we'll continue to do it, but I applaud them for their dedication and commitment to date to trying to make this as smooth as possible.
You know, Jim, I know that the town offices have received plenty of flack in some ways, and folks who just really had a tough time with all of this and let you know it. I hope that you've also heard from the, I think overwhelming majority of people who have been appreciative of what kind of monumental task this has been, and have shown the kind of patience that you really need from the community as this transition happens. So yeah, let's hope all the worst is behind us. But I want to, on behalf of those in town who feel the same way, and I'm sure there are many, I want to applaud as well you and the rest of the town staff for doing this, because it was, as I could see, because I had the privilege of being behind the scenes in some ways, it was an incredibly complicated series of events, some in your control, some not. So well done. Let us hope we are not talking about this any longer in these town hall updates.
Sincerely appreciate you acknowledging the work that went into this. Thank you.
For sure. Moving on, let's talk about the Housing Choice Community Designation.
Sure. So certainly switching gears. So we've earned what's called, as you noted, the Housing Choice Community Designation. This is through the state's Housing Choice Initiative, and this was because we reached a benchmark goal of providing at least 300 new housing units within the past 5 years, and for adopting policies that support increased housing production. Those policies include the town's multifamily housing overlay districts through the MBTA Communities Act, our accessory dwelling unit bylaw, and the establishment of the Arlington's Affordable Housing Trust Fund. So there's some of the activities we took that put us in a position to be eligible for funding through the state's Housing Choice Grant Program for projects that will further these housing efforts and increase production. Those could be grants for up to $500,000 for site preparation, buildings and infrastructure projects, or up to $150,000 for planning and zoning activities. But the benefits extend beyond those direct funding opportunities, because we will also be given priority consideration through some of the states or the Commonwealth's partner grant programs, which include the MassWorks Infrastructure Program and MassDOT's Complete Streets and Capital programs, both of which we've availed ourselves of previously, but they're highly competitive, so we're hopeful that this will put us on an even stronger footing as we pursue additional grant funding for sort of roadway and street projects that we sort of have a strong interest in performing in the community. And obviously obtaining this designation also requires a significant level of effort, so my kudos to the Department of Planning and Community Development for leading this initiative, and a special shout out to our Assistant Director, Sarah Suarez, for helping bring this to fruition.
Great, really another fine distinction to share about our community. Next up is something I can, as I myself continue to edge ever further into senior territory. The means-tested senior property tax exemption is something that lots of people want to be able to take advantage of. Tell us about FY26's version.
Sure. So this relatively new exemption offers relief to Arlington residents over 65 that meet the Massachusetts senior circuit breaker limits for what would be 2023. There's a bit of a lag, and that includes income levels, the home valuation, and an asset threshold. So for income, for a single filer, it's $72,000, for head of household, $91,000, and for joint filers, $109,000 of income. The homeowner's principal residence valuation cannot exceed $1,172,000. And the assets, or the asset limit set by the Board of Assessors this year, provides a maximum of $250,000, of course, excluding the filer's primary residence. So More detailed information can be found in the application packet that the assessor's office has put together. It can be found on their section of the town's website or by calling or stopping by the assessor's office to ask about it. The deadline to apply is coming up on September 4th of this year.
All right. Thanks very much for that. A couple more items. There's an adaptive tricycle rental program. I think you might have mentioned this at a previous time, but anyway.
Sure. So actually, we're celebrating the 35th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act by launching this new adaptive tricycle rental program. We actually have an event tonight, this Thursday. And this program is designed to make the Minuteman Bikeway more accessible to residents with disabilities and is made possible through a grant from the Massachusetts Office on Disability that we sought. So these are specially designed three-wheeled bicycles that provide enhanced stability and support for individuals who have difficulty riding traditional two-wheeled bicycles. So these will be stored and can be accessed at the Ed Burns Arena. So that provides ready and convenient access to the Minuteman Bikeway. Rentals this season are free and the public can reserve them in 2-hour increments through the Recreation Department. So this program was brought forth by a very strong partnership between the Disability Commission, our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Division within Health and Human Services, as well as the Recreation Department. So please take advantage of this opportunity. It's really exciting and something new and different from the community.
Great. And speaking of the Minuteman bike path, we've got ACAC, that's, well, I'll let you explain, ACAC Murals.
Sure, great segue. Again, along the Minuteman Bikeway. This spring, the Commission for Arts and Culture directed their public art efforts to the Minuteman Bikeway to transform what were ultimately graffitied concrete bridge posts into pops of color and sort of lively art. So as of July, ACAC, as we know it, has completed the installation of murals along the 3 bridges that cross the Minuteman Bikeway between Arlington Center and Arlington Heights. Those are over Brattle, Forest, and Ryder Streets, as many people know. So we just want to invite folks to take a moment to observe this initiative, which was organized by Lori Bogdan and really adds an element of sort of interest to the users of the bikeway as they may be on their commute or recreational rides.
Yeah, and as we're handing out kudos today to a number of folks, let's recognize the ACAC because they are in a, I don't know if it's a stealthy way, but in an incremental way, let us just say, continuing to add to the kind of physical space of Arlington, these artistic, creative touches that, like you said, at the very least, they are much preferred to what they are replacing a lot of the time. And also they just are an intangible asset that makes it nicer to move through the space of Arlington. So
it's a great way to put it. Thank you.
All right, we've asked you to cover a lot of ground today. We've done it before. Anything that you'd like to add?
That's it for today. Thank you.
All right, no problem. We have been enjoying and appreciating Jim's command of the various issues that he discussed today. We appreciate him taking the time to be here. He is, of course, Jim Feeney, our town manager. This is the Town Hall Update. I'm James Milan. Thank you for joining us as well. We'll see you next time.